Hi there YouTube. I'm going to talk about the Yamaha O2R digital mixing desk. So this is a 24 channel desk, and you can see that channels 1 through to 16 are on white channel faders and channels 17 to 24 are black. That's because the white ones are mono and the black ones are stereo. And if you come and have a look at the back of the mixing desk, you can see how that equates over here. We've got line level jack inputs on mono through to channel 16, and then 17 through to 24 are stereo. On this Yamaha mixing desk, we've only got 8 XLR mic inputs, which is a little bit limiting, but it's fine for most applications. And the mic input says input A, and underneath it says input B, which is for that line level jack. Now, if you have a look at the top of the mixing desk on the channel, you can see that we've got input A and input B for the first 8 channels, as we've got the option for mic and line for the first 8 channels over here. So I've plugged in a microphone into input 1, so I need to make sure that that's set to A, which I've got over there. There's my microphone. Now, on the channel, how's this getting sent out the output? Well, if I press the routing button, you can see that as a default, everything is getting sent out the stereo output. Don't worry too much about one over here. I just turned those on a minute ago. But the important thing is that they're all getting sent out of S, which is stereo. That means that if you connect your stereo output to something like a PA, like I've done here, which is over here, analog out, left and right, and I turn up the channel fader, it should automatically play. So you don't need to set up any routing. It's already done for you. So if I turn up channel 1, because my mic's plugged into channel 1, and I turn up the main channel fader over there, and I talk through the PA, hello, 1, 2, 3, you can hopefully hear that that's working. So I'm going to turn that back down again and talk about the view mode. Now, what I recommend doing is pressing this view button on the left-hand side and then setting the channel up in this mode here. Now, the benefit of view mode is that you can see everything that's going on with your selected channel all in one window. And you select a channel by pressing this SEL cell button over there. So I've got channel 1 selected, so that is everything I've got going on for channel 1. Now, what do all these things do? Well, on the left-hand side, it says ATT. That's just used to attenuate the input signal if it's coming in a little bit too hot. Now, initially, you want to turn the gain all the way down, but if it's still too loud on the input, then you can use that attenuation function. Now, you turn things up and down using these cursor keys which navigate left and right. And if I navigate left to the attenuation section, I can use this data wheel to turn the input gain down even further, which is that one over there. Underneath that, we've got panning, and on the mixing desk on the right hand side, we've actually got a panning section. So you must obviously select the channel first, which I've got for channel 1, and then over here you can say, sorry, the panning's above it. You can use this little panning feature left and right, and then you can pan that left and right over there. So if I pan it fully left and then go back into view mode over here, you can see that we've got that panned fully left over here, which I don't actually want. I'm going to pan it to the middle, which is there. Go back into view mode and it'll be panned into the middle, more or less over there. Now, underneath we've got this pairing. If you want to pair channels, what you do is you hold down the select key of one and then press the select key on another one. And it says, are you sure you want to pair them? Use these cursor keys, go over to yes, execute, then press go, and we've paired them over here. The enter button is that button over there. Now if I turn up channel 1, it will automatically turn up channel 2 on the mixing desk. If you want to unpair them, you do the same again. You press channel 1 and then channel 2, and then you can see that they're not paired anymore. The next thing are these AUXes. Now, you might notice that we've got 8 AUXes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However, if you look at the back of the mixing desk, we've only got 6 auxiliary sends. 1 through to 6 over here. That's because AUX 7 and 8 are allocated for the internal effects within the mixing desk, which I'll talk about in the next YouTube video. So after that we have, in fact I didn't talk about this routing in that much detail. If I just go back into routing here, you can see that everything's routed to the stereo output, but we've also got these other options down here, and you can see 1 can go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then S for stereo. Now that 1 to 8 relates to the multi-track outputs on the back of the mixing desk over here. And we've got an ADA optical card, which is 8 channels of input and output on a fibre optic cable. So if I wanted to allocate or route channel 1 to ADA optical 1, which comes out of here, what I would do is just make sure that on channel 1, the number 1 box was highlighted, which we've got over there. So this is just saying the channel 1 and channel 2 are both going to ADA optical output channel 1 on the back of the mixing desk. So if I go back into view mode, the last 2 things that I'm going to talk about in this video are the EQ and dynamics. Now if you wanted to apply EQ, make sure that you've selected the channel over here. Then on the right hand side you've got this EQ section. So you can switch it on and then set something like high mid, specify the frequency that the high mid is going to work with, the gain, how much it goes up and down by. So this is saying that 210 Hertz is getting boosted by 9.5 decibels. And if we have a look in the mixing desk, you can see how that relates over here. I've also got some stuff going on in the low shelf, so if I turn that down, you can now just see what we've got going on. In fact, I've got something in the high mid as well. So if I turn that down, if I set my low mid and boost it a bit more, and set the Q so we can see that working, and then I sweep it on the frequency, that's quite a standard parametric EQ. Do make sure that you've got it switched on. There's an on button here, or you can use these cursor keys and navigate to the on. So if I go back into view again, the last one is dynamics. So if you want to apply gating or limiting, etc., you can press this dynamics button, which is over here, and it'll take you to the dynamics window. And you've got all the standard controls for a compressor: threshold, ratio, attack, release, and knee. And yeah, once again, just make sure that you've selected the right channel over here. Then back into view. The last 2 things that I'm going to talk about are the... in fact, I'll leave that for now. In my next video, I'm going to talk about AUX 7 and 8, which are effects. See ya.